Hello, science fans. Let's talk about a planet that's a real oddball in our solar system family. It's way out there, past Saturn, hanging out in the cold, dark suburbs of our sun. This planet is Uranus, and it's the seventh planet from our star. It takes about 84 Earth years just to make one trip around the sun. Imagine waiting 84 years for your next birthday. From Uranus, the sun would look like just another bright star in the sky, not the big warm ball of light we see from Earth. It's a distant and mysterious world, and that's what makes it so incredibly cool to study. Uranus is part of a special group of planets called the ice giants. Now, that doesn't mean it's a giant ice cube, but it's a pretty good description. Unlike rocky planets like Earth or gas giants like Jupiter, Uranus is made up of a whole lot of icy materials. Think of things like water, methane, ammonia, all swirling around in a hot, dense fluid deep inside the planet. This icy mixture surrounds a small rocky core. So, when we say ice giant, we're talking about the chemical makeup of the planet, which is full of substances that are usually frozen in the outer parts of the solar system. It's a slushy, strange place, unlike anything we have here at home. So just how big is this ice giant? It's huge! If you could line up Earth side by side, you would need about 4 of them to stretch across the middle of Uranus. It's a real giant in terms of size. But what about its weight, or more scientifically, its mass? Uranus is about 14.5 times more massive than our own planet. That means if you could put it on a giant cosmic scale, you would need more than 14 Earths to balance it out. Even though it's so massive, its gravity is a little bit weaker than Earth's. So, if you could stand on a cloud top there, you'd feel slightly lighter. Pretty neat, right? The discovery of Uranus was a huge moment in science. For thousands of years, people thought there were only 6 planets, the ones you could see without a telescope. But in 1781, an astronomer named William Herschel was looking at the sky and spotted something new. At first he thought it was a comet, but after watching it for a while, he realized it was a planet. This was the very first planet discovered using a telescope. It showed us that our solar system was bigger and more amazing than we ever imagined. It opened up a whole new frontier for exploration, all because someone was curious and looked up at the sky. Let's dive into what makes Uranus look the way it does. When you see pictures of Uranus, you'll notice its beautiful blue-green color. It's not painted that way, it's all about chemistry. The atmosphere of Uranus is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, just like Jupiter and Saturn. But it also has a special ingredient called methane gas. This methane gas is really good at absorbing red light and reflecting blue light and reflecting green light back into space. So when we look at Uranus with our telescopes, we see that calm, cool blue-green glow. It's like the planet has its own natural color filter, all thanks to a little bit of methane. Now you might think a planet that looks so calm would have calm weather, but you'd be mistaken. Uranus is home to some of the coldest temperatures in the entire solar system. Its atmosphere can get down to a mind-bogglingly cold -224 degrees Celsius, which is about -371 degrees Fahrenheit. That is colder than anything you can imagine. Scientists have also seen giant storms swirling around on Uranus, some as big as entire continents on Earth. Winds on this icy world can whip around at speeds up to 900 kilometers per hour or 560 miles per hour. It's a freezing, windy, and extreme environment. One of the absolute strangest things about Uranus is its extreme tilt. Think about it. Most planets, including Earth, spin like a top as they go around the sun. Our planet is tilted about 23.5 degrees, which gives us our seasons. But Uranus is a whole different story. It's tilted on its side by an incredible 98 degrees. It's basically rolling along its orbit like a ball instead of spinning like a top. No other planet does this. Scientists think that long ago, a giant object, maybe the size of a planet, crashed into Uranus and knocked it over. This cosmic collision would have been an incredible event that changed the planet forever. Because of this wacky tilt, Uranus has the most extreme seasons in the solar system. Each season lasts for about 21 Earth years. Imagine a summer that lasts for 2 decades. During this time, one pole of the planet gets constant sunlight, while the other pole is plunged into total darkness for 21 years straight. Then, as the planet continues its long journey around the sun, the situation flips. This leads to some very bizarre weather patterns, as the sunlight finally reaches the parts of the planet that have been frozen in darkness for years. You've probably heard of Saturn's amazing rings, but did you know Uranus has rings too? They are not as big or as bright as Saturn's, which makes them much harder to see. Uranus has 13 known rings, and they are very dark and narrow. They are made of dark, dusty particles, probably a mix of ice and rock that doesn't reflect much sunlight. The rings are also very young, scientifically speaking. They might have formed from an old moon that got smashed to bits by a comet or another moon. Because Uranus is tilted on its side, its rings are also tilted. They go up and down around the planet, like a giant target in space, instead of horizontally like Saturn's. Beyond its rings, Uranus is the ruler of a whole family of moons. It has 27 known moons, each named after characters from the works of William Shakespeare and Alexander Pope. How cool is that? Oberon. Titania, Miranda, Puck. The 5 largest moons are Miranda, Ariel, Umbriel, Titania, Oberon. These are icy worlds with craters, canyons, and cliffs. Miranda is especially fascinating. Its surface is a jumbled mess of different terrains. Giant canyons 12 times deeper than the Grand Canyon. It looks like it was shattered into pieces and then put back together again, making it one of the most bizarre-looking objects in the solar system. Let's talk about another one of Uranus's strange features, its magnetic field. Earth has a magnetic field like a big bar magnet coming out of the poles, protecting us from solar radiation. Uranus has a magnetic field too, but it's completely bonkers. First, it's not centered in the middle of the planet. It's off to one side. Second, it's tilted by nearly 60 degrees from the planet's axis of rotation. So you have a planet spinning on its side and a magnetic field tilted even more and off-center. It's a complete mess. This creates a very strange magnetosphere. As Uranus rotates, the lopsided, wobbling magnetic field twists and tumbles through space in a complex corkscrew shape. Scientists are still trying to figure out why. One idea, the field is generated in a slushy, icy mantle layer, not the core. That could explain the off-kilter field. Whatever the cause, it's another puzzle that makes Uranus one of the most mysterious places for scientists to study. The more we learn, the more questions we have. So how do we know all this incredible stuff about a planet that's so far away? For a long time, all we had were fuzzy pictures from telescopes on Earth. But that all changed in 1986. That's when NASA's Voyager 2 spacecraft flew past Uranus, giving us our first and, so far, only up-close look at this ice giant. Voyager 2 was on a grand tour of the outer solar system, and its flyby of Uranus was a major highlight. For just a few hours, it zipped past the planet, snapping pictures and taking measurements. Atmosphere rings moons that wacky magnetic field. It was an amazing scientific achievement. The data from Voyager 2 completely changed our understanding of Uranus. It discovered 10 new moons, 2 new rings, temperature, wind speeds. It confirmed that the magnetic field was as strange as scientists had begun to suspect. Almost everything we know for sure about this massive world comes from a single brief visit by a robotic explorer more than 3 decades ago. That one encounter has fueled scientific research for years, but the story isn't over.